Visceral fat is the most dangerous fat on your body. It wraps around your organs, it wrecks your metabolism, and it literally makes you dumber. But after coaching thousands of high performers, I found 7 science-backed foods that help eliminate it naturally and permanently. And by the way, my name is Dan Go. I've coached entrepreneurs, CEOs, and parents just like you for 20 years. I owned a gym for a decade and I sold it. Now I help high achievers get lean with ease and minimal stress. Now, this isn't a detox list. These are foods that change your biology just like it did for my client Kevin, who dropped close to 60% of his visceral fat, making a few simple dietary changes. So if you're ready to remove the visceral fat once and for all, keep watching. Let's dive in. Number 1 is blueberries. The smallest fruit has the biggest impact. Blueberries are packed with anthocyanins, which are plant chemicals that switch on fat-burning genes and shut down inflammation. Clinical studies show that they improve insulin sensitivity and lower belly fat even without major dietary changes. And one of the reasons for this is because it promotes healthy gut bacteria, helping everything from digestion to mood to metabolism work a lot better. And what I do is I actually take blueberries and I toss them into the next food type that has actually been shown to be incredible at removing visceral fat. The second one is Greek yogurt, preferably plain and unsweetened. Now, this one does double duty. First, it's high in protein, which is key for fat loss and muscle retention. Especially when you're losing visceral fat, you will be losing fat and also weight as well, so we want to keep as much muscle on our bodies as possible. Second, it's loaded with probiotics that heal your gut, which directly affect where your body stores fat. People who eat more dairy, especially fermented kinds, tend to have less visceral fat and smaller waist than those who don't. And something I like to do is mix in my blueberries with my Greek yogurt, maybe put in some sweetener like allulose in there, and maybe even some protein powder, and that actually becomes one of the best full breakfasts that you can put into your body, especially when it comes to eliminating visceral fat. Now, the next food is extra virgin olive oil. So extra virgin olive oil is like a secret weapon for eliminating visceral fat. It's rich in monosaturated fats and inflammation-fighting polyphenols. Now, you might be noticing that I'm mentioning polyphenols a lot, and for good reason. I talked about it in this video here, where I talked about the world's easiest diet to eliminate visceral fat, and polyphenols have an incredible impact on your gut that actually has a net positive effect at burning visceral fat. And that's the reason why I am so all about them. And when it comes to extra virgin olive oil, one of the ways it battles visceral fat is by reducing inflammation. Many studies show that when you swap this oil for other types of oil, it has a better effect for your visceral fat than not. And there are also other studies that show that it can improve fat oxidation, which means that your body starts using stored fat, especially the deep stuff, around your organs as fuel. And when it comes to olive oil, I love to drizzle it on my salads. I love to use it as a cooking oil. And also, if I'm feeling a little frisky, I'm going to take a shot of it. I'm just joking. I don't take shots of olive oil. That's a Brian Johnson thing. Food number 4 is fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. And something you have to know is that omega-3s aren't just for your heart, they're for your belly too. Multiple studies show that eating fatty fish reduces deep abdominal fat, boosts insulin sensitivity, and lowers inflammation. Think of it as anti-inflammatory medicine in sushi form. And personally for me, I like to eat salmon at least twice a week minimum, and if I'm feeling a little peckish, I will eat canned sardines as a snack. It's fast, easy, and quite potent. Food number 5 is leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables like spinach, kale, broccoli, and cabbage. These are the metabolic MVPs of the vegetable world. They're loaded with insoluble fiber, antioxidants, and fat-fighting compounds. And the best part about this is the fact that it can volumize your food, lowering your calorie intake while you're taking in a shit ton of nutrients. And also, when you take in fiber, you are going to feel fuller longer, and the combination with antioxidants means that you're also going to be reducing inflammation. And greens like these are linked to lower waist circumference and better blood sugar control. And personally for me, I aim for at least 2 servings a day of green cruciferous vegetables, 1 in my first meal and 1 at dinner. Nothing fancy, but I find that whenever I volumize my meals, especially when I'm eating meat with it, I just end up feeling more satisfied from that meal. And it doesn't hurt that it also is a net positive for burning visceral fat. Next, we have avocados. They are creamy, delicious, and shockingly effective. Avocados are packed with monosaturated fats and also soluble fiber, 2 things that regulate your hunger and insulin. And people who eat them regularly tend to have lower belly fat even when they eat the same number of calories. And the way I integrate this into my life is just by eating half an avocado with eggs or in a salad. It keeps me full and it also keeps me sharp. And the final food is not really a food, it's green tea. And this is your visceral fat finding weapon in the mug. Green tea contains EGCG, a catechin that's been shown to increase fat oxidation while targeting belly fat specifically. And studies show that drinking 2 to 3 cups daily will see a measurable improvement in 12 weeks when it comes to eliminating visceral fat. Now, that's not magic, that's data. And it also gives you a clean energy lift without the crash of coffee. And personally for me, I love to drink coffee in the morning, but I don't like to have a second coffee because I feel that increases my anxiety. So whenever I have something that I need that's going to give me a little bit of an energy boost, I opt for, let me grab it over here, a green tea as my second form of intaking caffeine. And I find that it helps me focus. I also find that after you get used to it for a little while, it does taste pretty good. You just have to get over the initial hump of understanding the fact that you're drinking green tea. All right, moving on. Now here's how to put this together. These foods have been shown in clinical trials to reduce visceral fat by nearly twice as much than other healthy diets. And when you combine them with a time-restricted feeding schedule like the one I mentioned in this video, it amplifies those effects by enhancing fat loss, improving metabolic health, and specifically targeting visceral fat, all while helping to preserve lean mass. These types of foods, combined with time-restricted feeding, create this 1-2 punch that dramatically reduces visceral fat and actually improves your overall health. And here's a simple meal plan that you can start adopting now so you can use these foods in your quest to eliminate visceral fat. I mentioned in the beginning, Greek yogurt with blueberries are incredible. You can also sprinkle some chia seeds, maybe some walnuts in there, maybe even some protein powder. And this can be your first meal of the day, and it packs high quality protein, fiber, healthy fats, and antioxidants, key nutrients for supporting visceral fat loss. And for lunch, I would have a salad that's mixed with leafy greens, maybe chickpeas, diced tomatoes, roasted beets, and also make sure that I'm adding a piece of fatty fish like salmon or even the sardines that I talked about earlier. And I didn't mention this food before, but you can also add something like quinoa in there because that has actually been shown to be beneficial for gut bacteria, which will help you at eliminating visceral fat. And this meal is rich in soluble fiber, plant proteins, actual animal proteins, polyphenols, and healthy fats, which have all been shown to reduce visceral fat. And finally, for dinner, I would have grilled salmon or mackerel or another fatty fish, sauteed vegetables. Broccoli is usually my go-to with a little bit of spinach, put it in there with olive oil and it tastes amazing. And you can even add an avocado in there. It's optional to give it some texture and flavor. And what you're gonna notice when you start eating a diet like this is that when you switch from whole foods to the ones on this list, something strange but amazing happens. Your taste buds start to change. Literally. Something you may not know is that your taste buds regenerate every 10 to 14 days, but within 2 to 4 weeks, most people start to report that eating real foods start tasting sweeter, richer, and more satisfying. That salmon I mentioned before, delicious. Blueberries, they taste like candy. Your cravings, they start fading away. But it's not just your taste buds that shift, your belly fat does as well. In the first week alone, it's common to lose around 2 to 5 pounds, mostly from the water and the glycogen and maybe some of the inflammation and fat due to the lack of processed foods. Usually by week 6, your waistline starts to visibly change, your jeans start to fit better, your energy rises, and bloating disappears. And day 90, that's where the real magic happens. Your visceral fat drops to healthier levels, your body runs on cleaner fuel, you'll be sharper and lighter. And the person you start seeing in the mirror starts matching the person you're trying to become. And in general, I found that 90 days is a fantastic time period to get your visceral fat levels down to healthy levels. So to recap, these aren't just healthy foods, they are antidotes to eliminating visceral fat and creating a lean body. If you're serious about dropping dangerous belly fat and reclaiming your health, then this list is your new baseline. Pick a few of these foods and start adding them to your meals today, and your belly and brain will thank you. And I create a free guide on the protocol we use to help our clients lose their visceral fat. Drop a comment below saying lean, and I'll send it to you. See you on the next video.